Welcome to Brave Healer Productions. It's time to experience what's possible. So, what if there's something you haven't learned yet that could change everything? Welcome, everyone. I'm Laura DeFranco, the CEO of Brave Healer Productions Publishing, where we are helping the world experience what's possible. And here today to help me with that mission is Edi Oduraa. Welcome, Edi. What's happening?
Hello, thank you for having me. So excited to be here.
You guys, this is going to be a juicy conversation. Edi Oduraa is a business growth architect who helps visionaries step into their easeful empress era through refined systems and software. She brings structure to vision, building the backend systems and strategy that make launching feel spacious. Ever had a spacious feeling launch? I don't know, Edi. Based in Indianapolis, she serves brands globally. So I really can't wait to get into this discussion because customer experience is everything. People buy our stuff. It's why we're in business, you guys. So, Edi, tell me a little bit of the why behind this topic for you.
Yes, absolutely. So I've always been interested in people and the structures that support people. So by degree, I'm a civil engineer, which is probably the most people-focused engineering you can do. And I've always toed this line between the cerebral and heart-centered. And it's kind of been this journey of melding both. When my then husband launched his business in 2019, I helped him operationalize it from the ground up. And what really propelled the growth forward and helped them see tremendous success was the structures, but not just structure for the sake of structure, but structure that supported relationship, structure that supported engaging with clients and helping them feel like more than a number. And so from that experience, I then started helping other people with their businesses and their software and the structure, but kept on coming back to the heart of the matter, which is the clients. Like you said, if you think of our businesses like a tree, the trunk of that tree is our client experience, and it is the business. If you don't have clients, if you don't have them moving through and serving people, what is the purpose of what we're doing? And so I have found myself continuously gravitating towards that, and finally just said there's a big problem with this, I believe, in the service industry, like service providers. I work specifically with healers and practitioners. Oftentimes we are so focused on getting the clients and are excited about our craft that we lose sight of the larger experience and the journey that we're taking them on, not just the individual transformation, but the transformation that's facilitated by the whole journey and the whole experience. And so that's why I've really put my roots down here with the client experience and with healers specifically, because the world needs it. I mean, we have so much going on. And I think the more healers are equipped to help more and more people and facilitate deeper change and facilitate easeful change for themselves, so they're not burning out, so they can stay in the game longer, the better the world is. And so it's just so fun. I'm so glad that I get to meld all these different aspects of myself and help the world in the process. So that is why I focus on client experience and specifically with well-being practitioners.
So, have you dabbled with many healing modalities? What's your favorite one?
Oh
What do
yeah.
you, yeah, tell us.
hmm So I really like Akashic readings. I like diving into the Akashic records. I have shout out to Kay Miller. She's my Akashic reader. She's amazing. And I mean, doing that, I was able to, like, it just opened. I started having these amazing dreams where I was like visited by like my ancestresses and just learning more about my lineage. And I think that Akashic readings have been some of the most potent, like healing kind of, more esoteric, mystical modalities that I've experienced. Yeah, I would
Yeah,
say.
that's fantastic because welcome to Brave Healer Productions. So that's awesome. Ancestress. Did you guys hear that
Mhm.
word that she used just now? I think that's the first time I've heard that word. I love it. I'm going to suggest that people write their books with that word. All right.
Yes.
Okay. So, how does the customer journey design impact client retention? Like, we don't want to just get our clients, we want to keep them, but also our energy. Talk to me about that.
Absolutely. So I'll tell a brief story. And it's a personal story. So there is a creator and a teacher that I love on Instagram, and I still love the things she teaches because I align with them. And I followed her for a year. I'm a very picky and discerning investor, investing in, resources and different modalities. But after some time, I was like, I'm ready. I'm in the space where I need what she's offering. Her teachings are resonating. So I signed up for a course, and really a mastermind. And once I was inside, it's like she forgot I and the rest of us existed. So you would see the different courses that people had gone through. People were leaving questions and comments, no responses for weeks at all. Emails, I had a problem with my billing where I wanted to resolve it so that the correct card was charged the next billing cycle. Didn't get a response, had to follow up again. Then they sent me to the service page of their provider. And I said it didn't work, and they just never responded. But meanwhile, I'm seeing her continuously selling and selling and sending out emails selling, while we have yet to receive the information on when our call is, and we don't know what's happening. And it just soured me to it. Again, I still believe deeply in the work she's doing, but in good conscience could not continue giving money to somebody who it felt like I was just dropped, and I'm sure she's passionate about what she does. And for her, it wasn't an intentional, got your money, now I go, right? Because she did provide the service, the courses and stuff, but there was so much miscommunication and lack of leadership in that area. And I think I've experienced this multiple times. And so in me, she lost an evangelist, because I was sending her posts to everybody, recommending people join, was looking for a way to incorporate what she does into the work I do and make it a package deal. She lost an evangelist, and I know I'm not the only one. And this happens time and time again, right? When we similarly don't carry people fully through the process, because when somebody's investing money with us, it's very rarely just about this one piece. It's about the full experience. It's why also on the flip side, people pay exorbitant amounts for things that seem piddly or mundane. And so that is, I feel like that story represents the crux of why client experience is so key to customer retention. And what I had signed up for was a recurring membership. Like, I would still be in it if she had just responded to my emails. And so if you think about the compounding effect of me not remaining in that program, and then not moving into a higher tier of investment, like over a lifetime of a lost customer, you're losing thousands. And then as a practitioner yourself, for when you have a defined client journey, when you know the next step people go through, or the routines of, maybe my team checks messages once a week, etc. You now have the field that you can play in, and it's not this nebulous I want to support my people, but I don't know exactly how. Am I doing too much? You might cycle between overgiving and undergiving. When you define the client journey, you can easily say, okay, this is what I have energy for. This is what I show up for. And I do it. And I know that if I do it, I will have these results. People will feel held. People have a positive experience. And so it takes off this mental load as well. When things are nebulous and undefined, that's when we get stressed and drained, and more energy is spent than if we just defined it and did it. Yeah.
I'm loving listening to you, because I also speak from a place of growth, where if it got away from me, and this cycles in business growth, when it gets away from you and you have some freak out moments, and you yourself can't answer every email, and what Edi's talking about starts to happen, and somebody who is authentically wanting to do their best job starts to feel bad. And we don't want the things that you just talked about to happen ever. So you guys, the part of the answer, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a second, because you're going to talk a little bit about your framework, is the systems. And so when systems start to get into place, it's a literally palpable relief. So into this next question, you've got a practical framework for this. Share, please. We can't wait to hear it.
Absolutely. And I do want to say, to speak to that piece, because it can be easy to get into this place of shame around oh my gosh, I can see things are falling. I liken it to a relationship, right? We're going to hurt each other if we're in a relationship. It's inevitable. The problem is not always, unless it's malicious and unless it's repeated, right? And that's a whole other story. But the problem is not usually the inciting incident. It's what happens next. So when you realize, like Laura's saying, when you realize that, okay, things are getting away from me, what do you do next? Do you take ownership for it? Do you apologize where that needs to happen? And do you build the structures to make sure it doesn't happen again? And so, just similarly in relationship, right? Like we don't need to beat ourselves up, but we do need to take ownership for it. And so the framework I have is a simple way to evaluate where you are and what will work for you. And I'm going to just pull up my notes. And so it's almost less of a framework and more of a process or a journey, or like prompts. So what I typically guide people through, very briefly, like in an intensive, for example, is to start by mapping your existing client journey. And what this looks like, I like to do it in Canva on a whiteboard. You can do it pen and paper. And it's like, your old little flow chart taking you all the way back to grade school. And you want to start with, where do people find you? That's typically the top of the flow chart. And so you might have Instagram Reels and TikTok or networking. And then the next stage is, where do you invite those people to next? Okay, is it a newsletter? Are you getting in the DMs specifically? Do you have a private channel on Instagram? And then what is the next level of investment? And you want to simply chart out the course step by step. Okay, what am I inviting people to? And remember, this is not the ideal version. This is as it is. And as you're doing it, you will immediately see gaps. You'll see places of friction. You'll see places of frustration. You'll see overcrowding and overconstriction. So then the next step in this process is intentionally auditing it. And I love to ask questions like, when I look at this map, which of these little bubbles has me feeling tight in my body? Where do I feel constriction? Where do I feel light? Where do I feel confusion? Where have I lost people in this? Where does the flow kind of slow down? Like maybe you're getting people moving through your newsletter and then it stops at your offer or something like that. Like those kind of questions to evaluate. So one, we're mapping, we're auditing. And then the third is mitigating areas of friction and confusion. And so this is, you've assessed where that confusion is happening. Now is when you get to troubleshoot, brainstorm, see what makes sense, see how you actually want to change things to no longer feel friction filled and confusion filled. And then fourth, we layer in delight and surprise. And so this is the hidden weapon. I was trying to find this study and I remember reading it years ago. I believe it was like Yelp or TripAdvisor, where they found some of the top rated restaurants and analyzed their reviews. And the restaurants where customers routinely mentioned delight and surprise had some of the best reviews. And so once you have a solid structure, and mind you, you can chart this all in one sitting, but this will not be implemented in your business all at once. You want to get stable, then you layer in the delight and surprise of, where can I send a note or give a shout out on social media, or add a little bonus just to add that personalization and that humanization. And then finally, you want to codify all of this with systems and technology. So this is, again, not completely linear in the sense of, before the delight and surprise, absolutely take the time to put in the systems and technology, but you want everything to be systemized. Is that putting it in something like Todoist or Asana? Is it having a Google Doc? Is it having your VA create that and set that up? Automating it, external, contracting it out, whatever it is. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's all nice and fun when we put it on paper and color code it. It feels so good and vibey. But it matters only when it's actually implemented. And so that's the step. So just to recap, the kind of framework I bring people through is mapping the existing client journey, auditing it, mitigating areas of friction and confusion, layering in delight and surprise. I'm so excited, can you tell? And then codifying with systems and technology. And doing that just unlocks a wealth of information about your business and direction.
I hope you guys rewind to the beginning of her bullet list that she just verbalized for you guys, because this is going to make a profound shift in your business. So I want to rewind to delight and surprise. I get all of your steps. I get it. I get it more than most people. And So I want to kind of shout you out for putting that in a really easy format that I can see step one, step two, because you're right. This does not happen all at once. It's quite a thing. But I'm interested in hearing some of these ways we can
Yeah.
surprise and delight. Like I wrote down, you said note, shout out, little bonus. It's funny. I was just speaking to a helper who has a stash at her place. And when I give a gift, I email her and I say, can you send the blah, blah gift to so and
Hmm.
so because they just signed on or they just did
Yep.
this or whatever. And
Yes.
I get so happy in those moments. I'm going to go back to I put little star number 2. Where do you feel tight and where do you feel light? Well, I love the
Mhm.
lightness and this process of
Yeah.
gift giving. So
Yes.
tell me more about that. Like, what are some more ideas?
Absolutely. Yes. And I think it's so fun to get creative based on what you do and how you serve people. For I have a contortionist client, for example, and for her,
Like for real?
like for real, she's
Oh,
the bomb.com. Yes, I helped her
okay.
build out her online contortion program. It's
Oh
selling out.
my
It's
goodness.
doing great. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I just love it. I'm like,
You
if there
don't
was a
hear
key,
that one every day, Edie.
I
Like, I've got a
know.
contortionist client and like, what?
I know. I'm like, it's such a great one because it's instantly memorable. She's phenomenal, phenomenal, so good at what she does. Um, and so for her, it looked like she's very so for her, it looked like creating a home program for her ladies. So she does 6 week sessions, like 6 week sprints. And at the end of it, she put together a home program that they could take and use beyond their time together. That was not included in what they had talked about, and allowed them to like it was also open-handed in the sense of it wasn't like, oh, okay, you need to stay with me if you want to continue growing and learning. She said, it was also a sign of goodwill of take this program, and if you feel like you can do it, this is open-hearted, like I want you to continue thriving whether or not you work with me. So that's one example. I've worked with a natural care product company, like natural skincare and stuff, and she would do the whole handwritten note kind of thing. And she also had like little lip balms that she would make from extra material, but she would just pop in there if you ordered an extra big order. That was nice, something exclusive that you couldn't get anywhere else. um and like this is actually one of the things I love talking with people about, like what do you do? What is so unique about you specifically in your craft? And then how can we fashion a little delight and surprise that's unique? And for me, it's as simple as just sending handwritten notes. People love that. I've gotten so many responses from my clients that was so touching, because in this day and age, so often we don't give gifts, we don't do handwritten notes, we don't do things like that. So those are a few of the examples that are that I've experienced that I think are fun.
I love it. I love the topic of the gift giving too. It's just an energy that is abundant and
Yes.
manifestation energy, you
Mm-hmm.
guys. And I
Mm-hmm.
love if you guys have a community and you have people who create products. So
Yes.
for me in my community, I'll reach out and say, oh, I see you make this like Lulu Trevina makes a beautiful card deck,
Mm.
like a tarot card deck, and it
Mm-hmm.
and it serves as amazing writing prompts. So for like in my world, I love that
That's
gift. I love
perfect.
to give it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a few like that I love, but all right. So already I think you're changing minds and hearts about customer experience. So you have a lot going on right now. Can you talk a little bit about how people work with you, what your programs are? Just give us all the
Yeah.
goods.
Absolutely. I have two main ways I work with people. The first way is an intensive, where we sit down for 2 hours. We dive into your client experience, your client journey, like we talked about here, and we just elevate it. We see where it's not working for you, where it's not working for your people. And this looks like talking about everything from your marketing. And I'm not going to say I'm a Swiss Army knife, but there's elements of, is your message resonating? Are you showing up in the places that light you up? All the way through your offer structure. Are you truly packaging what you do in a way that is clearly articulates your transformation and actually supports your transformation? Back to the contortionist client really briefly, like working with her has looked like moving from rolling sessions. She'd have a typical fitness model, package, sessions, and people pop into group classes, a lot of scheduling snafus and struggle. And we shifted to a six week structure that she's able to charge more for, but people get more access to her. But the energy is like better. It's like hotter because it's like a closed container. It's like the sprint. And so it's like a win-win-win for everybody. And so that's what I'm big into. That's what I love. And so in that 2 hours, we dig into that, and then you have 7 days post support for me to help you. That's kind of a way for people to get a taste of working together. I typically work with people in 6 month cycles where we build everything from the ground up. I am by experience and expertise a fractional COO type. And so the work we do together centers around your client journey, but we reorient and reorganize anything that touches it and that could be impacting it. Because just like the work we do, I know the work that your people do and your audience do, it's holistic, right? We can't just say we're working on the client journey and not look at anything else. And so in 6 months, I help people create that signature client experience with the delight and surprise and the structure and everybody on board in such a way that I like to say we build a client experience so elegant, it builds your practice in your sleep. And that's what it gets to feel like. I've had a client say after our first launch together saying like, that was so easy, like kind of freaked out. Like it gets to be that easy. Yes, it does when we align all these things, you know. So those are the two main ways that people work with me. And I know you'll mention as well, but I do have a longer masterclass about the client journey that people can get for free. You know the drill. You get on my email list, but I try not to be spammy or anything, but it gives you a better and deeper sense of what Laura and I have been talking about here.
Yeah, cool. Masterclass link is down below, you guys. Tell us just a tiny bit more about that. What are
Yes,
they going to get
absolutely.
in that one?
Yes, this is 60 minutes, and it goes deeper. Like there's slides, there's a presentation, there's a client attraction meditation that I love to start with, that really puts you in the mindset to do all this work. This was live in another group that I was asked to speak in, and so there's back and forth, people sharing their experiences and me workshopping with them, and so I think it's a really good asynchronously interactive experience that can get you really far if you're already feeling jazzed and excited about this.
Yeah, nice. I'm going to go get it, you guys. You better too. Okay. I have a feeling, especially with the meditation, that we're going to be vibing high with Edie a little bit more than some of your typical business kind of people. So appreciate that about
Yeah.
that. Sorry, I can't speak. I need less coffee this morning. I appreciate that about you. I like that resonant feeling with you serving healers too. So
Yeah, thank you.
okay, so give us your final awesome, most important thing, golden nugget you want to leave people with today about the customer experience.
Yes. I would say the work you do is sacred. If you are uplifting, transforming, healing, enlightening, the world needs you. Your work is sacred. And a part of that sacred work is how you steward people who are in your space. And um, you get to think of it less of a business function, though it is, and more of a like a calling or a ministry function, right? Because these souls are in your, they've said out of all these people who are speaking, doing, you're the one that my soul resonates with and wants to come to get nourished in this specific way. And honing in our client experience, not to be, it doesn't need to be complicated, over the top, but just really aligned with the depth of your transformation, the truth of who you are. Doing that work is in service to your people, is in service to your mission, and is in service to the world. And so I think I can get on a soapbox about it, but I think it's very spiritual work to work on your client experience.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Edie, thank you so much for what you're doing in the world and for being here today to share it with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, you guys, the Brave Healer community is a generous, safe space for our listeners. If something resonated with you today, you've got a question, need support, come on down to the show notes. Edie's hooked up there with her websites, but the links to that gift and some other juicy things that she's offering. So, set up a chat with her. She's open for that as well. Explore everything that she has going on. And of course, if you're ready to become a published author, we probably have an expert book collaboration that would be perfect for you. I've got some links down below for that. Lastly, everyone, remember your words change the world when you're brave enough to share them. So it is time to be brave. See you next time, everyone.